Hi, I'm Jordy,
And I'm Stevo.
and this is Thorndale Theater Talk. This is a podcast where we talk about movies and TV shows and
Yes.
other stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram at Steven Centrella, on Twitter at Thorndale Talk, our official Twitter page, at Kibbles312, and at Steven Centrella. You're there twice. I always have to remind you.
I'm glad.
You're the cool guy.
I'm glad you have a good memory. Good job.
Yeah, I'm also reading it off of the...
Oh, that too.
Also on Facebook, our Facebook page, Thorndale Theater Talk, and our YouTube channel, Thorndale Theater Talk, to like, subscribe, comment, and tell us what you want to hear, and we like criticism.
Yes, we do.
We want to get better, because we always get better. All right, so episodes, listen to other 40 episodes on streaming services like Apple Podcasts, Breaker, and Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, have you ever used Breaker?
Me personally, no, because I never had an Android. But Android users, yeah, like how Apple Podcasts is
they use
to
Android.
iPhones, Breaker is to the
I've
Androids.
never seen what Breaker looked like.
Well, maybe get an Android next time you get a new phone.
Yeah.
So.
Make a good point.
Yep.
Remember to listen to us also every Tuesday. We come out with a new episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why not Tuesdays, right? Nothing new comes out on Tuesdays usually.
Tuesday with Maury.
What else?
That was just a sad book. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah. So listen to us every Tuesday, and let's get right to it. Steve.
Wait, did you not really get the reference to Tuesday with Maury? That's a book.
No, I know. I
Oh,
got
okay,
it.
okay.
I got
I
it.
thought you were
I kinda
thinking-
skimmed through it.
Oh.
I thought you thought I was thinking of the show Maury, right?
Maybe. I don't know what you were
Okay,
thinking
good, 'cause
of.
I was not thinking that.
Okay. I didn't know what you were thinking of. I was just like, it's a book, Jordy. It's a book.
I know it's a book. Okay. Let's
Real
get
fun
to it.
book, actually. So it's about, I'm just kidding. Let's go. Yeah.
I really liked it if you kept going.
Oh, yeah. So it's about a guy, Maury, who has ALS. And his former student, I actually don't remember the book that much. I don't really remember the book that much.
All right, let's get to it. We saw a lot of movies this week.
Yeah, we
More
did.
than usual. So let's get, before we talk about the two big movies that came out on Christmas, let's talk about what else we saw. So I can start.
Sure, yeah, you go
Yeah,
for
I'll
it.
start.
Yeah.
I saw War Horse.
Oh, nice. How was that? That was your movie of the week, right?
Yes, it was.
Nice. How was that?
War Horse was good. Directed Steven Spielberg. The main guy, or the character that you first meet, that like trains the horse, kind of looks like a young Ethan Hawke.
Okay.
I don't know, just completely random, but
Random, yeah.
But yeah, it's actually just basically a World War I movie, and it kind of follows, like, the main character is the horse, and you just kind of see from once it got bought to the whole like sequence of him being sold to the like army, and then his experience with the people in the army. So you kind of like multiple storylines
Right.
in as the big thing being a World War I and how awful it was with obvious reasons. So, and it kind of brings how people are the same and war is like terrible. It's a very actually pretty solid movie, and I liked it a lot. Steven Spielberg did really well. It's interesting that you come from, I think he's only directed 2 war movies, not the Holocaust. Not the Holocaust is not the war movie. The Saving Private Ryan and this one.
Yeah.
And it's just how different it is. How Saving Private Ryan is so gory, and it shows like every terrible part of war.
The first scene, yes.
I think it's still a very gory.
Yeah, like it is, but like
it's very bloody. Like when they get shot, it's very.
Well, I feel like that's all war movies, but yeah.
Not this one. That's what I was gonna get at.
Oh, you saying War Horse is more?
No, it's
gory?
not gory. There's no blood.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so it was very interesting how he took that route and made it like.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah,
Spielberg.
I mean, he can do whatever he wants.
Exactly.
But I liked it a lot. It's on Netflix. It is almost 2.5 hours, so it's a little lengthy, but it's still good. I'd recommend it.
Yeah. Nice.
Right.
Any other movies you watch?
Oh, you want me to just go through all of them?
Yeah, just go through all of them.
Oh, you know
Yeah.
what? I will, Steve.
Yeah.
I will. The other movie I saw was The Theory of Everything.
Oh, yeah, the Stephen Hawking movie.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking movie with Eddie Redmayne.
That's on Netflix, right?
Yes, that is on Netflix. It was pretty good. I liked it. Eddie Redmayne was... I understand why he was actor of the year, or whatever.
You won an Oscar, you mean?
Yeah, he won an
Okay.
Oscar.
Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't think of it.
He was the actor of the year.
Actor of the
we all took
You
a
won an
poll
actor.
and we decided, sir, you are actor of the year. Thank you, sir. Continue.
But But yes, he won Best Actor. He was really good.
Yeah.
It's like a very hard role to make because you have to have the physicality of his, Lou Gehrig's disease, and it's just. It was very good. His performance was amazing. Everyone in it was really good. I'd recommend it.
Right on.
On Netflix. It's good. I think it's a 2-hour movie, a little less than 2-hour movie.
Somewhere around there.
Right. But yeah, all right. And then the last movie I saw, well, before we get to the 2 movies on Friday, The Death of Stalin.
How did Stalin die?
So The Death of Stalin.
Okay.
I mean, it's I don't want to movie.
Oh, true.
The Death of Stalin. It's kind of like Jojo Rabbit, where it's a satire. It not kind of is. It is a satire.
Okay.
So it's like a very dark moment in history where Stalin had like a hit list basically, and whoever wasn't a supporter of him would get killed.
Yeah.
And so while that's happening, it's kind of like, all right, Stalin died out of nowhere. Who's going to be the hierarchy? Like, who's going to go from that? So it's kind of like, because it's the creator of Veep who wrote and directed it.
Yeah.
So it has that like vibe of like just hilarious circumstances that's just ridiculous.
Right.
So I liked it. Steve Buscemi's in it and Jeffrey Tambor. So it was pretty funny. Like I said, I think it was like a poor man's Jojo Rabbit.
Okay.
So it's still entertaining.
Still entertaining. Also on Netflix, right?
Also on Netflix.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me of it.
Well, I remember seeing all these movies on Netflix, so that's why I just wanted to reconfirm it. You watched it on Netflix.
Yeah, I did watch it on Netflix.
Coolness.
Right, Steve-O. What were your movies?
So my movie of the week was The Gentleman. I actually didn't get around watching it, but I'm gonna make it as my movie for next week. So I'm gonna watch it next week. But the 2 movies I did watch this week, besides Soul and Wonder Woman, coming from the guy, have you watched the Lego movie yet?
No, you should have said Actor of the Year.
No, I was gonna say, have you watched the Lego movie yet?
No, I have not watched. Give me the second one.
Oh, okay, yeah, the second one. Yeah. Don't be talking.
I was just joking.
Don't be talking. Come on. Come on. Don't be talking. Who you think you are, huh? Huh, punk? Huh? You think you're better than me? All right. So, going on my tangents. All right. So, a couple of the movies that I watched this week. I used to Go Here with Gillian Jacobs. It's a movie that came out this year in like, what was it? August. So, it came on HBO Max. So I checked it out. It was actually not bad. So basically, the premise of the movie, it's a struggling writer. So she just gets one of her books published, and it's also like kind of where she is in her life. So she's like 35. A lot of her friends are married or pregnant, and her book that just got published is also struggling as well. And then her former professor asked her to come back to school to do a reading for her recently published book. And then so she's kind of like walking through memory lane of like her years of college and how like the world was right in front of her at one point, and now it's like where she is now. And it's just like, it makes you think like all the things you wish you could have done, or like how lucky you are to be so young, like 21, not even 18, 19, 20, and just have the whole world in front of you. And so she does kind of get along with some of the students. So she bonds with these students, and she's just realizing, wow, where life is. And it's a very interesting movie. It's not like an unbelievable movie. It's only an hour and like 26 minutes, but it has a point to it. It's pretty like it gets to a point pretty quick. It's a solid movie, a solid B movie, I would say. It's got an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 68% on Metacritic. And it's also on HBO Max, so definitely check it out. Like I said, it makes you like really think, because like if you're like, because yeah, like when you're 18, 19, 20 and you're in college, you have this whole world in front of you and you could just do so much. But then like when you get to like your 30s and it's just all reflecting, and you're just like, what have I done? So it's a very interesting movie, made you really think, but also it was, entertaining. So
nice.
Yeah. Definitely check it out on HBO Max. And then the other movie I watched, I don't know why I watched, but hey, I just like I threw it on. Why not? It was Yes, God, Yes. It is with Natalia Dyer from Stranger Things. So basically, the premise of this movie is so she's a teenager, and religion's a big part of her world. She very Christian, and it's just showing. And she goes to Catholic school. I said Christian, I meant Catholic, but she goes to Catholic school, and it's just showing like the pressures that the Catholic Church puts on like young teenagers, especially when it comes to like sex and like and just like living life and stuff like that. Like, it's a sin. One of her friends said, "Yeah, it's a sin that you were watching Titanic and you rewatched the like so-called sex scene in Titanic when they were like having sex in the car. You don't really see anything, but just that scene." She rewatches it like a few times, and her friend goes like, "That's a sin. As you're giving into lust." It's like, is that really a fucking sin? Like, no, it's like, get out of here. Like, so it's just it's showing the pressures that the Catholic Church puts on like young teenagers, especially like with sex and everything, and making them feel like they're all sinners, yada yada yada. So, it's just showing her struggle with it and all the pressures that she's going through, and also, it was a very interesting movie because this is like what happens in real life. Catholic Church does put pressure on kids, making them feel scared. You're going to hell if you give in temptation. And then it's showing that also in the movie that like even like the like priest and the nuns, like they're not all so holy because they have their own faults too. And so it was a very interesting movie. Would I say it's really good? No. Was it worth watching? Sure. It makes you think about like stuff like how religion has a big hold on lives and whatnot. It's got some decent reviews. It's got a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 71% on Metacritic. So you could be the judge of it, but I thought it was okay. Again, a solid B movie as well. I think both movies were like, they're short movies. They get to the point. They're very, very simple. So, yeah, but definitely worth watching.
Nice.
So, those are my movie of the week. So my movie next week will be The Gentleman. The Guy Fieri movie, action comedy. So I will watch that next week as my movie of the week. What's going to be your movie of the week?
My movie of the week, I'm going to make a commitment. It's a big commitment.
Big commitment. Got it.
On HBO Max, Magnolia,
because
it's 3 hours and 9 minutes. And it's with Tom Cruise, Julianne Moore, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Penn Oswalt. And the big reason why I want to see it is because it's Paul Thomas Anderson. And he's one of my favorite like filmmakers and directors. He made... Did he make There Will Be Blood? I'm pretty confident he did. Yeah. He did There Will Be Blood. He did Punch Drunk Love. He did... what's the... Jeez. The one with Mark Wahlberg. Boogie Nights.
Magnolia. There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, There Will Be Blood's amazing.
He's done many movies.
Yeah. He's
The Master.
The Master's really good. I saw that. That was one of my movies of the week. But yeah. It's just a commitment because it's 3 hours long, and it's about kind of, I guess, love and how there's like 12, like some different storylines. I don't know. I saw it on the description. I'd never even seen a trailer for it, but Steve-O's favorite actor and Tom Cruise is in it. So,
boo.
But I'm excited because I like Paul Thomas Anderson a lot, and this got really good reviews. So.
Paul Thomas Anderson, yay! Yeah, Tom Cruise, boo.
Okay. He's in good movies.
Boo.
You can't deny that. So,
boo.
All right, so that's my movie of the week. All right, now, obviously, two pretty substantial movies came out on Christmas.
Christmas Day, yeah.
Soul and Wonder Woman 1984.
Yep.
Which one do you want to start out talking about first?
Let's talk about Soul first.
Soul first?
Yes.
Steve-O. Pixar's new movie Soul now on Disney Plus.
Yes.
What did you think?
Again, compared to other Pixar movies, it's good, but I wouldn't say it's the best. I think so. What's great about Pixar is they do such a great job of connecting to both younger audience and like the adult audience. I feel like with this movie, the theme of the movie, I think was just too greater for a young audience to grasp. Like with other Pixar movies, the themes of the movies are easy for the young audience to grasp, but it's still mature enough where the adults will be like, this, like, it has a good point. I feel like this movie was too much more towards adults than kids. I thought it was a good movie, don't get me wrong, but I feel like if, like, that medium level where they hit, where it's entertaining for both, like, the themes where the kids could get it and the adults can get it, I feel like it's mostly adults will only understand this movie. Like, the kids will find it, like, entertaining because, like, yeah, you see a man talking to a cat, and like it's funny because the cat's talking but no one understands the cat kind of thing. But so yeah, the kids will find that entertaining. But I mean, like the actual themes of the movie, like I don't think the kids would understand. No, because like again, with the themes of the movie, it's talking about life and like the regrets you have and how you focus on your goals and then you get lost of missing out on the little things. So it's like stuff that I feel like children wouldn't understand because they haven't gone through that experience in life yet. So it's a good movie, don't get me wrong, but I just think it definitely did not, like Onward was, in my opinion, it still had that medium where like it's entertaining for adults, but like kids could understand the gratifications of what's going on in the movie. Where this, I feel like not as much, because like a 6-year-old can't like think back and be like, oh yeah, my life when I only focused on this and this, and I haven't gotten to where I want to be. You're 6, you haven't lived yet, so. But overall, I thought it was great.
You just went like a tangent of like why you thought it was like a little bit worse, and then you went.
Overall,
it's
no,
great.
but overall, for
know,
like an
I know.
adult,
Yeah,
for an adult, it's good. As I'm saying, like that medium where
I know what you're
Pixar
saying.
does that, like
Yeah.
where it's entertaining for kids and adults, and kids can get the themes, and adults get the themes. I feel like this is mostly just an adult cartoon. So, but I did think it was a good movie. Yes, I thought Jamie Foxx was great. Tina Fey was great. If I had to decide, again, because Pixar had 2 movies that came out this year, Onward and Soul, I think Soul's better. But like I said, I think Onward did better connecting with the younger audience. So, what do you think?
Okay, so I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I thought it was top tier Pixar. I don't think like if I do like my little list, it's not top 5.
Yeah.
It's maybe top 10, but because I love Pixar so much, there's so many great movies. But I think it's very, very good. On to what you said. So, just a random question. What did you think Toy Story 4 did for, I guess, the medium of between young audiences and...
Toy Story 4.
Because that's deep.
It was deep, yes. But...
That's like the existence of living, basically.
Yes. But it's still, again, I still think it connected with kids better. Again, also, I think it's a little different because, like, I'm trying to think, like, how many kids really know Toy Story that, like, now kids?
It's still like a kid's movie. If
Right.
you're a parent and you want to see
If they watch the original, like, that's,
not even
yeah.
that, they just be like, oh, Toy Story 4 is toys.
Right. Yeah, again, I would have to agree but I think the kids could understand the themes of Toy Story maybe a little more just because...
That's the existence of life.
Right. Right.
Like,
no, I understand that.
I mean, I'm sure there might be aspects of it,
but they do dumb it down for you to understand that, I'd say, in Toy Story, because like they can understand a toy's purpose is to
I'm saying 4 specifically. Toy Story 4.
Yeah, I know, but
yeah,
I'm saying they could understand the toys. What their objective is to entertain the kids, so they can understand. They can see that Woody's not doing that.
Sure.
Like you can see that, and so with that, then they can see. Okay, Woody's not happy because he's not doing what he.
I didn't mean this to be a Toy Story 4.
Right. No. I think the kids can understand. It's like, okay, Woody is not being what a toy is supposed to be doing. You can see that because he's not happy because he's not fulfilling this Bonnie's like joy.
Yeah.
And they can understand that's what toys are supposed to do. So I think Toy Story 4 did connect better with the younger audience, yes.
Okay.
Because I think a 6, 7, 8-year-old could understand that.
Yeah.
Because that's what toys do.
Okay.
Where this is an adult male, and he's questioning like his life and the things he's done, and so that's where it's like a little different.
Okay. So going back to it, I think Soul's amazing. I think Jamie Foxx is really good. I think Tina Fey's really good. I think this is a lot better than Onward. I still liked Onward. I think Onward's like a middle tier Pixar movie, but I'm trying to think of like compared to what you said because it doesn't affect the young audience, and I kind of disagree. I think it's so
Not effect. I said I don't think this is a
they would
theme
understand.
that
I know.
this is
That's
a theme
so,
that they would
I
not
disagree.
understand whatsoever.
Like in the greater aspects, yes, it's kind of like what I said about Toy Story. Like the great thing is about
Right, the greater
of,
aspect, but I'm just saying though,
yeah.
like the greater aspect, yes, there's always a greater aspect.
Okay.
That's what makes Pixar great. But I'm saying there was not for Soul. There's not a easier way for kids to understand this.
I think that kids would get that. Like he says multiple times in the movie that like I need to be a musician. Like that's my dream is to be a musician. I want to be a musician. He does this thing at the end, and then you see people can understand like he doesn't seem affected, and then he's like, I thought that I would do this, and it's like and then the band member says I can't remember some like spiel of like it's not gonna change overnight. You're still you're the same person. Whatever you do, it's just who you are, kind of a thing. If I think correctly about it. Sorry, spoilers to Soul. So like
sorry,
too late. But I really I feel like kids would understand that, and even so, like I don't look at a movie for Pixar because it does the adult and kids names. Like I get it, like that's what the big thing of Pixar does so well is that they do it. And sometimes in other movies it's more on one side than the other side, and sometimes it's
that's what I'm saying. This movie it's more on one side than the other.
But I don't think that's a fault on the movie. I think
I didn't say it was a fault. I just said
it's kind of an observation that
it's an observation. Again, am I saying this movie is bad?
No. I just thought that was a part that you disliked from it.
No. I'm saying what I'm saying is if I had to pick a fault, yes, that is a fault, but it's not a terrible thing.
No. I'm not saying like it's awful. You still say it's great. I know, but I'm just saying that you still say it's like a negative.
That's the one bad thing about the movie, because I wouldn't say that like yes, it's a kids movie because it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
But I don't think this is a kids movie where kids gonna be like, "Oh my god, this was the best movie! This was so entertaining!" Like,
I mean, like when your kid sees a movie, they're not gonna like have a whole analysis about it. They're just gonna come out and mostly just be like, "Oh, it was good," or like, "Oh, I thought it was funny."
Yeah, but I just don't think the kids could understand the theme of this movie.
I mean, I agree with you in that aspect, but I don't think that's a fault in its movie. I think it's just how the movie's made and what it's intended in the audience for. So I think that I loved it. Sorry,
I know, but where I'm saying is where Pixar has always a good medium, but for kids and adults, I'm saying this movie is more geared towards adults.
No, okay, all right. I agree with you. Whatever.
Yeah.
It still has kid aspects, and I think kids are gonna like it regardless.
It definitely has kids aspects, but I'm saying the overall themes of the movie.
We're just not gonna agree with this because I just think that how you say it is like how I think a Toy Story 4 of like literally the whole movie is about the existence of life, of what Woody means, what it means to live.
Yeah.
And I don't think kids will understand that. They just are gonna understand that like he's like adapted.
But
to, like,
I think with that example, Toy Story 4 though, kids could understand it because you're using something they could understand with toys. This is an adult. This is about an adult male.
Yes,
I'm saying though with Toy Story, it's different because you're using something kids. You're using
I
toys.
understand what you're saying,
and to dumb it down where they can understand. Where Soul, they are not doing that. So
I know. Okay, I said I agree with you in that aspect, but I don't think that's a fault to the movie. I think that's just how the movie's intended for it.
Right, but I'm just saying like that's the only thing I could think bad of the movie is it. Don't get me wrong, it's a good movie. It has a great theme and it makes you really think, and it's very entertaining. But I'm saying, like I was saying, just where Pixar is good with that median, it definitely was geared towards more to adults than kids on this one. That's all.
Okay, I mean, like, if you want to get the nitty gritty, I can disagree with you, but I don't want to get in the whole, like, I think it's, like, maybe a little bit more, but that's still, like I said, I don't think that, like, that's a fault of Pixar. Like, Pixar can't always, I think it's great. I mean, like, look at Up. I mean, Up has the kid, which is like the kid part where it gets
and the talking dog.
Yes, I know, but it's about the old man. Like,
I understand.
Literally, like the whole like picture of it like was about him.
I understand.
But I'm saying like okay, like you have that, and then in this you have the cat where she's a cat. She's pretty funny where they're like like souls I guess at that point where they're like eating the pizza. Like that's a funny part. Or they have like kid things where they're gonna,
they do
like,
again yeah they do have
like
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
they do have kid things in it.
I think it actually does the same thing to everything. What you're saying, I get, is that it's the whole point is about an old man, and it's or not an old man, just like an adult, and it has no like kid aspects to it to help try to relate to kids.
To kids, yes. It
But
has
their souls, there's kind of a kid like cartoon-esque aspect that like kids are gonna like, oh, this is like kind of funny that they're like he turns into like this, and then he goes around, they do the whole like the whole music. I don't want to get into too much spoilers, but,
right.
Like
again, I just think.
Sorry, we're getting very into this.
I just think it's the whole things and the gratifications are too big for kids to because they even say like when they are the cartoon souls, they're saying, yeah, our job is to find everyone's purpose in life.
Yeah.
What does a kid know about a purpose in life? They don't.
I mean, the kid's not gonna go out and be like, wow, what did I learn from the movie? It's gonna be like, wow, did I laugh?
And I don't think there was enough funny scenes in them. I don't think there was enough like funny parts where the kids would find this entertaining.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna try and cut it off here, but I disagree. I think that movie is like perfectly made, and I think that it's very good, and that it's close to the median. Maybe it's a little bit more adult, but I don't think that's a fault to the movie. I think that's just how the movie's intended to be made.
Don't get me wrong. I found it more entertaining because it's it relates more to me, but like
thinking of the aspects of the younger like generation
because that's what Pixar is.
I know, but I still disagree with you with that. So, I mean, at least we both think it's really good.
Yeah.
We got in a huge tangent there, so I apologize, but it's just Pixar is just such a huge impact in movies, to be honest with you.
Being biased, I think.
No, I'm not.
Maybe you are, just a tad bit.
Why? Because I love Pixar?
Yeah, it sounds biased to me.
I can name movies of Pixar's that I didn't like.
Good for you.
So that's not really bias.
I'm just saying.
I just you really think I'm biased? I'm not at all.
No, I was just saying. Just adding thoughts.
Okay, but I mean, Pixar is such an impact in like life, and I'm saying how we're in tangent.
Yeah.
So like we're very like. We have a lot of aspiration for Pixar.
All right. Time to move on.
Yes.
Next movie.
All right.
Wonder Woman.
1984.
Yes.
Do you want me to start or do you want to start?
You can start.
So I saw a lot of reviews. I mean, after I saw a lot of like, I don't know about critical reviews. I didn't see Rotten Tomatoes or anything, but I saw a lot of users not like it. And I could see that. Is it better than the first one? Not even close. But I still found it entertaining. I still was like, oh, this is like a nice. I mean, as I was watching them, I could see the faults in the movie where people were like, oh, like,
yeah,
this doesn't make sense, or like this is kind of like, it drags a little bit at some points, but I still found it entertaining and I liked it. I like Gal Gadot. I thought she's really good as Wonder Woman, very good. The whole Chris Pine thing. I mean, with the idea of the movie, I guess that makes sense. Also with like the plot.
It makes sense.
Yeah. I found it entertaining. I liked it. I understand why people wouldn't like it, but that's like the bigger. I'm just gonna end it there.
Yeah.
We went in a whole tangent.
Well, I was gonna say with Wonder Woman, I could see why people. Well, again, part of it I think is also the anticipation, personally, because this movie was supposed to come out back in July. And also with the first Wonder Woman being so good,
out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, because your expectations were like zero, because DC just So I think a lot of that has to do with it, because you're expecting, because the first Wonder Woman was so good, so you're expecting so much, and then on top of it, with all the delays and the pushbacks, so your anticipation kept building and building and building. And I think yes, it was a good movie. It was entertaining. There were some questionable things in the movie, but overall I thought it was good. Yes, I would have to agree. Like I said, I would agree with some of the reviews I've been reading and some of the like things I hear. There are some faults in this movie, but at the same time, I think it was entertaining. It did do a good job.
We have the same mentality.
But like I said, I think part of like with some of the bad reviews, it has to do with like again the hype and the anticipation of being pushed back, and you're like, yeah, now I can finally watch it. It's gonna be like the best movie ever. And it's like, it was okay. It's like, it was a good movie.
I agree. I think that also maybe because of how the first one impacted, it wasn't just like, oh, it was surprisingly good. It was like, oh, it's surprisingly like really good. It had like a very touching story, and you kind of like get Wonder Woman, and it's very well made. And then, like you said, with the pushbacks, I mean, there were some parts that, I mean, like you said, you can tell where it's like, it's a little shaky at times. But I liked her a lot, and Chris Pine's good. Kristen Wiig's character was interesting. That was a little...
I don't know, I could sympathize with her character a little bit.
But it's a trope.
Yeah.
You've seen that a lot.
Yeah, but again, I it's one of those things.
I like Kristen Wiig. And
Yeah.
I thought she did a good job, but I'm mostly talking about like the character.
Right. Well, no, I can sympathize with the character because like people, there are people like that, who are shy and
I
then
know, but that's like
and
a
they
trope.
get this confidence and then
That's a trope.
I know.
You see this like a lot in movies.
right.
So like if you want to get nitpicky, I'm saying like that's where people I've heard. I didn't like. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, you can sympathize with her. I'm trying to like think of her character. I didn't like. I related her in the beginning when she did it, but then after that, I was like, I didn't really care for her character herself.
No, it's like one of those
It was
things.
like an excuse to have Wonder Woman fight someone.
Right.
Because you can't really fight Maxwell or whatever his name is.
Well, again, it's more of like it's that greed situation where it's real. So it's like
No,
yeah.
I get it. It's just like I've seen it before, so I wasn't surprised, and I guess I was, and maybe it was because of my hype too for the movie. And
Right.
I was like a little let down. I thought Pedro Pascal was really good.
He was very good.
I liked his character. He's supposed to be like, because of all this power he's getting, he's so insane.
Yeah.
He's
Again,
fucking nuts.
so
He
big on greed.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's one of those things. Like
Exactly.
once they got the power in their hands, they
want more.
want more, and they don't realize what their
The effects are doing.
well, not just the effects of other people, but they don't realize the effects they just on them and their families and like so it's like that basically this whole movie there was no true villain. Like the villain was the stone, in my opinion. Yeah, so yeah, there was no true villain, and that's one thing I think. One of the reviews, there was not enough like good action scenes. I can kind of agree with
there
that.
wasn't a lot of action scenes.
There wasn't, but it was still like a good movie. I thought like
the sequence in the beginning was really cool.
Yeah.
With when she was young and went through like that whole like obstacle course or like whatever it's called, and I like that. And then that car scene was really cool.
Yeah.
Where that stuff was cool, but that was like it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Was like almost.
There wasn't. I would agree. There wasn't that much action in this movie, but it was still good. So.
Yeah, because like in the first one, when they had that like sniper tower, when she
Yeah.
was doing it, that was really cool. Like, yeah, but I mean, I enjoyed it, and I still thought it was entertaining, and I would like if it's on TV, I'd maybe see it if it's on there. So
I was gonna say the reviews. Yeah, they got some poor like. So I looked it up real quick. So Metacritic gave it a 59.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes 65, and IMDb at 5.9. So
yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was that bad. I think they're over exaggerating it a little bit.
I think, like I said, part of it has to do with the hype and the anticipation and the pushbacks. And
was it a letdown for me? Yes, a little bit. But I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I had the hype too, but I still
it was still good. But I think overall, like yes, Wonder Woman, the first one I think is better, but this one was still good. It was a good complement sequel.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked the little. Did you see the post-credit thing?
Yeah,
nod.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it.
That was funny.
That was fun.
But isn't she making another one? I'm pretty sure. Didn't Patty Jenkins say she was making 3 Wonder Womans? I think.
They might be making a third, but I don't know if Patty Jenkins will be involved.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure she signed on it. I know she's doing the Star Wars thing.
She's doing that. That was the thing. She signed on for 2. I know they were talking about her doing a third, but I don't think they ever signed a contract for it.
Okay.
But again, she might do it. It's one of those things. She might do it, but she might not. I don't know. It depends on her schedule. So.
It's on HBO Max for a month if you have it, and then it goes out to video on demand. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yep. So that's the deal. It's on HBO Max free for a month, and after that, it goes to video on demand where you have to pay for it.
It's entertaining.
I say watch it. It's not gonna like. You're not gonna regret watching it. I don't think.
No.
Like, yeah, you're gonna be disappointed maybe because your hypes are just so high, but like, it's good. Definitely worth watching.
All right, Steve. Short news day, but let's talk about the news.
Yeah, so some news. We gonna get into the news real quick. It's just only a few articles, but yeah, we get all of our news from ScreenRant.com. You heard it right here, ScreenRant.com. All right, so the first big piece of news. So MGM wants to sell its entire movie studio. So reports are saying that MGM, which is one of the oldest movie studios in the business, really is. They've been around since the 1910s, so they've been around for over 100 years. There's talking about how they're gonna sell off assets and just it be gone, but we'll see what happens with that. Nothing's confirmed with that. They do have a vast amount of movies over the years.
James Bond. For being the first one, that's like one of the biggest.
They got a lot. Like there's too many, in my opinion, to even like because
Yep.
like Wizard of Oz is
Yes.
an MGM movie. So MGM movies like typically were always big like big budgeted movies. Best way I could describe. Like if it was an MGM movie, it was either typically like an Oscar movie or like a big budget film where a lot was going into it. So like the James Bonds and stuff like that. So if they do sell, I just wonder like who will buy it.
Yeah.
Who will buy all? Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised Disney.
I wouldn't be surprised with Disney either. But Disney's already bought Fox, so they've already bought
I
so
know.
much. I don't know if they could
I
afford
know.
to buy it out, but yeah,
I kind of saw this, like, I remember in the James Bond, I don't know if it was in between Casino Royale, or the one before Casino Royale and then Casino Royale, or Skyfall, but I know that there's a point where James Bond movies were kind of delayed because of what's going on within MGM.
right.
And there was a lot of, like, I think there was a debate maybe at the time of selling it or not, and there was, like, a lot of internal stuff, and then they just, like, I don't know what they did, but they got back. So
Yeah.
I think this was a long time coming if they're trying to sell
It's
it.
MGM. I think is just still always talking. Again, we'll see what happens.
I don't know too much. That's just my.
It's
memory.
one of those things. Like MGM, like they've gone like under before, but again they've come back up
I'm telling
again.
you, James Bond.
Yeah,
that hurts that they couldn't do that too. I'm sure.
It's one of those things that they've had their struggles in the past, but yet they're still around. So it's one of those things. We'll see what happens. So, next big piece of news. So the Russo brothers are developing a modern Christmas Carol movie. So we all know who the Russo brothers are. They directed the last two Avenger movies and Winter Soldier and
That'd be good. I mean, they have a lot on their plate too. It's like them and Taika Waititi have so much stuff at their.
Because they're hot. They're like the hot big names. Yeah, sure. They're the hot big names going on doing their stuff. So, everyone wants them to do their stuff.
Makes sense.
So they're creative minds, and this is something I think they could do too. Because with their like I said, with the Russo brothers, they're known for like their work on the Avengers and stuff, but they've done other stuff too, where like they have a good versatile of like work, because they did direct so much episodes of Community, one of the TV shows that we really like. They did the You, Me, and Dupree movie. That movie was just but like it was again something else they know how to do. Like I'm not questioning their directing skills on the movie. I think just the story itself was.
Yeah, and I mean also that was one of their first movies that they made. So I think every filmmaker just gets better and better every time.
Exactly.
You can easily see it.
See, like it's nothing with You, Me, and Dupree. It's nothing against like with the filmmaking, but it's mostly just the story and like the plot behind it. But again, overall, like I think this would be good. Yeah, like again, they're looking for this movie to come out at the end of 2021, but we'll see what happens. Yeah. So, all right. And going on, so next piece of news. So Judas and the Black Messiah gets a February 2021 release date. HBO Max, yes. So it'll be released on HBO Max February 12th, 2021. It's a trailer we posted a while back, like back in, I want to say, August.
Basically about the Black Panthers.
Yeah, basically about the Black Panthers.
I think it's like strictly about the leader, but I think it's still like the whole Black Panther.
Yes, yeah. Movie's got who's it got in it? It's
Daniel Kaluuya, who's in Get Out, the main actor. I don't want to butcher this name, but Keith Stanfield. He was also in Get Out. He was one of the.
He was the guy who gets
the first one.
Yeah, first guy who gets kidnapped, and he's the guy who like literally screams the
stuff.
title, "Get out!" Like where the Flash hits him, and then also Jesse Plemons is in it too.
Todd in Breaking Bad, and he's also in a lot of other stuff.
Yep. So
but,
I'm excited for that. Yeah, it's got a good cast. It'll be an interesting story. So be on the lookout for it. Check out the trailer. We posted it a long time ago. My recommendation, maybe just YouTube it, but you can always go on our Facebook page and just check it out from there. All right. And then the last piece of news that we have. So I find very interesting. The Umbrella Academy was the Netflix top original show of 2020 this year. So I find that very interesting.
It was a Netflix original though. So
yeah, but like out of all the stuff that came out on Netflix this year, I feel like that like. That's the top one. Don't get me wrong. I watched Umbrella Academy and I really liked it and I thought it was very good. I don't know if it's the top, but hey, maybe it is.
Let's get to it then. What's your favorite TV shows of this year that you saw?
Oh, there are a lot of great shows that came out this year. I would say my favorite probably between The Boys was really good. I really like that, but that's not Netflix. But again,
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's
yeah,
any show. We're not going to
I know, but so yeah,
The Boys.
The Boys was really good.
I like Good Place a lot.
Good Place was very good
I
as
thought
well.
that ending was perfect.
It was. It ended it very well. It did.
Then there was a third
Queen
one.
Gambit. I haven't watched it yet. I'm right now watching The Crown right now. But Queen Gambit's next. But like that. But again, all the hype but that's what I mean. That like between like the Queen Gambit, like
Umbrella Academy get over Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, because I feel like Queen's Gambit's just been like, again, I haven't watched it yet, but like from what I've heard, it's just like
they said the Queen's Gambit's the #1 limited series on Netflix ever, that like most watched.
Right.
I mean, I never saw Umbrella Academy, but Queen's Gambit's awesome.
Right.
I highly recommend it.
Again, I have seen Umbrella Academy, but not Queen's Gambit. But yeah. Umbrella's Academy, it's very interesting. It's definitely entertaining. So I could see it. A big disappointment this year was Space Force. I would have to say.
Yes. Oh, a huge disappointment.
Again, it still has potential. I say.
I mean, I'm only saying it has potential because of the cast.
Well,
behind it. That's literally the only thing. That
again, I also say it has potential because there were some funny things. Again, I don't know where they can go. Like, I genuinely don't know where they can go from where they ended. But at the same time, like, I view it as like, look at The Office season 1. Season 1 was not like.
I liked Office season 1.
Again, but critics and a lot of people were not a fan of season 1.
Yeah, I don't really I think a lot of people were fans of season 1. Critics probably maybe not, but
I don't think fans were a fan of season 1 until it started getting good, and then they realized how good season 1 was.
I know, but I mean, yeah, well, I know we'll see, but this was like worse than season 1 of The Office. It's not even close.
Yeah, don't like no, but I'm saying though there is potential. That's why I'm saying, because
behind it. That's what I said.
Yeah, but again, I'm using the example. Look at season 1 of The Office because it critically was not that good, and then a lot of people weren't fans of it at first. But once they got going, they got into it.
We'll see.
So, trying to think what else was some other things. Big Mouth came out this year.
I didn't see. I'm still on season 3.
Yeah.
I love Big Mouth. I think it's hilarious. It's like one of the most raunchy shows I've ever seen in my life, if not the most. And after season 2, I was like, I get the show. Like, I'm gonna see season 3 and 4, but I'm not like gonna rush to see it.
Right.
I still think it's really funny, and if you haven't seen it, you definitely should. And season 1's amazing. But
another show that like had such big hype and just not like, I don't know, Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, I've been in the middle of season 1 and don't plan on probably finishing it.
I just like, I don't even know, like, it's good.
It has an idea. It has a path that it wants to go to.
I feel like, but it just doesn't connect
really
well.
I know, and I think that like what they're doing is, I don't know if it'll make sense, but they have an idea because everything, like the production's really good on it, the acting's amazing, the writing's really good, despite like not knowing how the whole like overall plot is.
Right.
Like when they have the interactions with each other, it's really good. But then like when like monsters come out of nowhere and then like magic, and it's just like, I don't know how this will like attract me. This doesn't attract me.
I feel like there's just too much going on at once.
Yes.
Like with, I feel like, again, a good example with Stranger Things, because it kind of has a similar vibe to it, but this takes place in the 50s, and again, different scenarios and whatnot. But like, I feel like they take their time, but at the same time things are happening. But I feel like with Lovecraft Country, they're trying to do so much in one episode. It's just like, what the hell just happened? Like, I know what happened, but it's just like, it was a lot to digest.
Well, the thing of Stranger Things is that they explain what happened. Like,
exactly.
Something weird happens, or like after it, where they like run away or something, or like the next couple scenes they explain what the hell was going on.
But that's what
Lovecraft Country, when a monster comes up, they're just like, oh, that's just normal. And
but
like, what?
But that's what. Yeah. So with Lovecraft, because the first episode you watch it, but then the second episode they don't even address it.
Yeah, I know.
It's just like
it's normal.
Like, what? Like, that's something you need to address. Like,
I know.
And then episode 3 they don't even address it even further. Like, and someone, like, one of the, spoiler alert, a character does die, but I'm not gonna say who. But
they're back alive.
But no,
nothing
no, no, no.
happened,
But
right?
yeah, they're the other characters are back at home and they act like nothing ever happened. I'm like, someone just died.
Yeah, I know.
Like, this is like,
I don't know.
but that's what I mean. They never really like address it, and then it's just like I find that weird.
I think the acting's really good.
But yeah, don't get me wrong. Like,
and I like the production, and they have an idea, and it has to make sense eventually.
yeah,
Don't want to be True Detective season 2, which didn't make any sense. I don't know if you ever saw that.
I haven't, but like
Season 2
I feel
made
like
zero
I feel like
sense.
season 1 it still has some connection holes and whatnot.
When
But
True Detective season 1?
no, I'm talking about Lovecraft Country.
No,
like,
I know.
Yeah.
I agree. There's holes. I'm saying like maybe it'll make sense. I didn't see all season 1, so I don't know.
So it's just
Yeah. What
Also,
are some of your favorite movies that you saw too? Let's just expand it. This is our topic.
right. No, I was gonna
New
actually.
Year,
No, I was gonna
2020,
add another TV show, but all right, we'll go into
No,
the.
keep going. TV
Oh
show's
yeah,
good.
I was gonna say Mandalorian also big this
Yeah,
year.
I never saw it.
Get
I'm
it.
gonna get it.
Get on it. But yeah, so
I think it might be a little overhyped, but I still think it's like an entertaining thing that I'll like.
it is not again. I could see how it gets overhyped, but like personally, I think it is a good show.
No,
It does a
I
good
accept
job.
it, probably.
But yeah, Mandalorian I feel like was big this year as well, and yeah, so I would say the biggest shows definitely was The Boys, Queen Gambit.
2020.
Yeah.
I love the Queen's Gambit.
Like again, I thought Umbrella Academy was good, but I don't know many people who watch Umbrella. Like, don't get me wrong, there is a following for it, but like I feel like it's not as big as I think it is.
Yeah.
But I thought it was good. Good Place was really good.
I think my favorite new show this year, or like season this year, was The Boys. No, not The Boys. Queen's Gambit. Sorry, I think it was. Because I like The Boy. Out of all of those, I've only seen 3 fully, which was out of my selection. It was Good Place, The Boys, and Queen's Gambit. And The Boys, I thought the first half of season 2 was like good, but it wasn't anything like season 1 where it was just throughout and insane.
Right.
And then the second half of season 2 was just like holy crap, like that's it, like that's
Yeah.
what you want. What was the other one? The Good Place was a really good ending, but the Queen's Gambit I think just came out of nowhere and was like holy crap,
Yeah.
this is really good.
Again, I
But
still
that's
got
my favorite of 2020.
my favorite of 2020 is probably
top of
like I would have to say The Boys is up there,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to think. Good Place
Wait,
was good.
Upload 2020?
Upload was 2020. Yeah, that was another good one.
That's a really good one.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite though.
No, it's not my favorite either.
But it was a
it's
good
very
show.
enter-
It
it's
was a very entertaining.
Yes.
Something to definitely check out if you haven't seen it. It's on Amazon Prime. Upload.
It's Greg Daniels who created The Office.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not nearly as funny as The Office. It's way different, but it's got that very like it hits you. It's like
It's
very
good.
heartwarming.
Yeah,
very
it's
heartwarming.
it's just good. Like
Yeah,
it's
I-
very entertaining. It wants you to keep watching more, and it's easy watch too. It's like literally 30-minute
Yeah,
episodes.
it's very easy.
So, and 10 episodes, like it's something you could easily knock out.
Yeah.
Upload, yeah, definitely. I forgot
was
was
thinking of Amazon Prime shows. when I
yeah.
said that.
I was like, that was another good one. Damn.
That's another one that came out of nowhere. Like Upload.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it seems interesting. I like it.
So that's
Yeah.
another good show.
All right.
But yeah, so 2020 definitely good. So movies of 2020. Oh
So
yeah.
not, should we do strictly 2020 or just movies that you've seen in the year of 2020?
I'm gonna go with I would say include your movie, like whatever you like. If you had a movie of the week, I would include it.
Okay,
just
okay.
because, like again, this year was weak for 2020
Okay,
movies.
Yeah, for obvious reasons.
Yes, but
I think, man, I think Soul will be up there for me. I really liked Soul. Palm Springs
Palm Springs
Palm
definitely.
Springs might be my number 1. I don't know why. I think that might have more of a surprise, I guess.
Yeah. I would say Palm Springs definitely one of my favorite movies this year. I'm thinking of Ending Things was very interesting. Like, just
It's just seems too Charlie Kaufman.
it is too Charlie Kaufman, and
I
but
like Charlie Kaufman a lot. I mean, Eternal Sunshine is one of my favorite movies. But that like, when you see his like first one's like Eternal Sunshine, and then
Yeah.
being John Malkovich, you kind of understand his like style. But then you just becomes more and more of it, where it can get too much, and I feel like that'd be too much.
but I thought it was good. Like
I
yeah.
don't doubt that it'll be bad. It's just like,
Like,
for my opinion.
Right, no, but I thought I'm thinking of Ending Things was very
Yeah.
very interesting. Like because it took turns that you weren't expecting, because you thought it was gonna be like a breakup movie, like a movie about a couple and them breaking up,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's like completely like so just again makes you question those things you would have done, should have done, could have done. So That's why I really liked it, because those are always interesting movies. The things that you should have done, would have done, could have done. The Trial of the Chicago 7 was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a solid movie.
It was a solid movie.
That was like as expected. When I saw it, I'm like, I'm probably gonna find this entertaining, and some of the dialogue being really good because it's Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah.
It was exactly what I thought it was.
Do you think if Aaron Sorkin didn't direct it, it would have been better?
No, it would have been the same. I mean, I don't know how you direct it better than that. It's more of like a trial that went on. It wasn't anything like special. Like, oh my god, look at this shot. It's like they're in the trial.
Right.
It's more. That seems like an Aaron Sorkin, like fine directed film that he would do, like that in Molly's Game, because Molly's Game was very like, this event that happened.
Right.
And just how he like portrays it. But no, I don't think it would be different. I think it would be the same. It would still be good. I still liked it.
What was one of the disappointing movies of the year for you?
Disappointing movies. I wouldn't say Onward. I liked Onward. I don't know. You might have to give me a minute for that. Disappointing movies. I mean, Wonder Woman 1984. I still liked it, but it did disappoint me a little bit.
I would still say
definitely not the most disappointing. I'm just saying it.
King of Staten Island was probably my most disappointing movie.
You had
of the
a
year.
lot of hype for that.
I
didn't think it was gonna be.
I did have a lot of hype for that. Because the plot of the story I thought was very it had everything you wanted it, and I still say it's the directing that was the bad part of the movie, and I think Judd Apatow needs to give up the directing chair and let someone else he's a great writer, because that's what I mean. The writing was good, but the direction of the movie was So
I didn't have that much hype because I knew Judd Apatow was going down in his movies, because his last one was Trainwreck, and we have our opinions on Trainwreck. Maybe some people liked it. I didn't think it was that funny.
It was weird because
it was the first time you saw it, you're like, oh, this is not bad, and then you see it.
No, because when I first saw it, I thought it was hilarious, but then when I rewatched it, and I thought to myself, why did I think this was funny?
I'm the exact same way.
So
that kind of just shows you I think that shows you your personal opinion of what a good movie is. If you see it again and it either gets better, it's like, oh, this is exactly what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Really good. If you see it again and it's worse, that's like, oh god, that's not.
So yeah, but that's how King of Staten Island. I thought it was at first, but if I rewatch it, maybe I'll think differently. But I don't know. My views on it was very.
I think my most disappointing movie of 2020 might be Tenet. I liked Tenet. It was entertaining and it was fun to watch. I have a very high pedestal for a Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah.
I could not tell you if I rewatched it again what the hell it was about.
I think also kind of with Tenet.
The mixing of the audio was also off. It was so loud at points where you couldn't hear sometimes what they were saying.
I could hear them fine actually.
Oh well, I thought.
Yeah, I thought the sound was fine. The mixing was fine. I was gonna say I think with Tenet, kind of similar situation with Wonder Woman. It's this big movie. You had anticipations. And it's exactly what it's.
Yeah, I know.
It's exactly what I think it's like Inception.
But I didn't have as higher anticipation. I had higher anticipation for Tenet than Wonder Woman 84.
And you were disappointed. So
for more of an, I think it's more of a I think everyone should have high anticipations for Tenet.
But again,
I feel like you should. Christopher Nolan is a very well documented.
What I'm saying is, you were high anticipation,
right.
And then when it finally came, you're just like.
But everyone's the same about it, or not everyone. Everyone has their own opinion, but a lot of people thought the same as what I did, even when I had high anticipations. That it was just I don't know what the hell it was about. I liked it. The action scenes were really cool. The acting's amazing, but I have no idea what the fuck it was about.
It's about manipulating time. That's pretty much what it is.
I mean, the whole story. I mean, the whole overlying aspect is just time uses it as a construct in the movie, but it's not time itself. It's not the movies. The moral story is what time is. It's a CIA espionage.
Yeah, it's pretty much what it is. He's trying to stop a terrorist from destroying the world by manipulating time.
Don't make sense. I don't know how you get from one scene to another in the second half of the movie. It just doesn't make sense to me.
You have to rewatch it to figure it out.
I don't know. I liked it though.
Yeah.
I think you have to have a high anticipation for a Christopher Nolan movie, in my opinion. You have to.
I disagree.
You see a trailer and then you're like, okay, this is not my cup of tea, but
I disagree. You don't have to.
I
Again,
think you should.
I don't think so.
I mean, if you don't like Christopher Nolan,
Well, no, I love
fine.
Christopher Nolan, but like I still don't. I would never walk into a movie with like again. I try not to. Don't get me wrong. It does happen where I walk into a movie with such high expectations, but when you do that, I feel you have
No, I hate
you
that.
you have a better chance of being disappointed.
I hate that I do that. I'm not saying you should. All right, let me retrack. You shouldn't have high expectations, but for me, it's just like who I am, and I love like Christopher Nolan movies so much that it's a mentality that it just won't go away. That like I'm expecting it to be very good. I'm not expecting it to be like the greatest movie ever, but I have like just high expectations, which is bad. Don't be me.
It's bad. Yes, it's bad. Don't have such high expectations.
Don't be me.
Like again, I've done that before too, where I walk into a movie with such high expectations, but again, try not to because
I mean, sometimes they meet it and it feels really good. I thought Soul, I had high expectations and I liked it a lot. So
I went in with zero expectations with Soul because I didn't know what I was walking into with that one. So I think.
But yeah, you shouldn't have high expectations. Don't be me.
But best of 2020, I still think is Palm Springs. That's
I think
probably
that's my favorite too.
That's still the best. It was entertaining. It had a good moral story. It just hit every vocal point that you wanted. Again, there were a lot of movies that came out in 2020. You had Delphi Bloods.
That I don't think was that great.
I thought it was good. I thought it was entertaining. I went in with zero expectations and I got what I got.
Yeah, no.
So I thought it was overall. I thought it was good. Was I think it was amazing? No. Will it be nominated? Hell no. But it was definitely worth watching. So I'm trying to think any other movies of 2020 that you want to like, even like your movie of the weeks.
No, not that come in my head.
Almost Famous. I can't believe I finally watched that this year.
Awesome. That movie's
It's
awesome.
a great movie. That's probably one of the movie of the weeks that like.
Hate you
Like,
the most?
well, because I'm like, how the hell I've never seen this movie?
I know.
Like, it's just like, well, I've seen parts of it, but I never like actually watched the whole thing. And I'm just like, how the hell I never watched this whole film?
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably one of the movie of the weeks that like definitely got me. Like, I was just like, fuck. In 2020, all right, that's one good thing. I watched that movie.
Yeah.
So, all right, and that's all I have.
Yeah, I think that's it for this week's episode. Remember to
Last episode of the year.
Yeah, last episode of the year. You got me all flustered for some reason.
Okay,
follow
weird.
us on Instagram at Steven Centrella, on Twitter at Thorndale Talk, our official Twitter page at Kibbles312 and at Steven Centrella. Also, our Facebook page, Thorndale Theater Talk, and our YouTube page to like, subscribe, comment, Thorndale Theater Talk. What you want us to talk about, what movies you want us to review, also anything. We're open to anything. Most things. Some things.
All right. Yeah.
Some things?
Yeah.
Yeah, open to something. And remember to listen to us every Tuesday on podcast streaming services like Apple Podcasts, Breaker, and Spotify.
Sounds good.
So have a good New Year.
Thank you. Yeah, have a good New Year.
Thank you.